By the way, I was explaining to barber how to cut my hair, because this is an out-of-town haircut I just made. These two bald-headed want to, like, make fun of me.
The instruction was crazy. So around here, do this, and the back here, up top, keep it
Exactly, there's nothing to talk about with this.
Like,
but I get it all off, though.
You take it all off?
All of it comes off. And I just need
your hairline funny style, so you should understand. The truth of the matter is, do you have a bald head or not?
Yes. I go.
I mean, having All-Star Mardi Gras at the same time. This wasn't well thought out. Who does that? Somebody needs to rethink the logistics, man. I mean,
somebody needs to think the logistics. You can't rethink it. They never thought about it.
Because the truth of the matter is, Mardi Gras is actually on the calendar.
Right.
Like it's
not. It's not like it was a secret.
It's not like we just found out we had Mardi Gras.
What you bring, Mr. Stout?
It's an 82 Latour, you know. Every time I'm with the King, we can't just be talking about top fives in sports and music and not talk top 5 wines.
This is your 13th All-Star?
13th, dog. This is my 13th All-Star appearance. This is my 14th All-Star weekend.
Does that bug you out?
You know what bugs me out is I'm the oldest person in the game. That's why I'm bugged out.
You guys have played in some of the greatest games of all time. Do you know when you're in it?
Right.
That holy, like we're in it, or are you just lost in the game?
You don't know.
You don't know.
No, you don't know.
No?
You're just playing.
Like you don't know at that point in Game 7, like, yo, this is about to be one of the greatest Game 7s ever. Like, you don't know this block about to happen. Like, you don't know.
You just hooping.
Yeah, you don't know Kyrie about to hit this shot after neither one of our teams have scored in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. You don't know that.
Do you even realize nobody scored in 4 minutes? No.
Nah.
No. You have no idea. You just hoop.
Just playing.
You just hoop. All you saying is like, I don't want this man in front of me to score. That's all you thinking. That's it.
Are you tired at that point? Fourth quarter, 3 minutes. Are you tired? Like, are you? I mean, you ain't gonna ask for a sub, but does that even factor in?
You tired, but that's the last thing you telling yourself though is I'm tired. You tired, but the real ain't gonna never tell themselves they tired. You tired now. And you might even bend over and hold your knees, but you would never in your mind let it creep into your mind like, yo, I'm tired. You ain't gonna let yourself do it.
Bro, when you went down, was your wrist, were you hurt? When he went down when? When he went down in the game, when he went for the, this year.
No, in the finals.
In the last 4 minutes, LeBron went to the hoop. I don't even remember that. Yeah,
The
he
last
went down.
play, when I went to the free throw line.
Who fouled you?
Oh.
It was you?
That game was a blur, man. Straight up. And I remember, like, every play of every game. That game was a blur.
But that shows that y'all in it. Y'all not thinking about
Yeah,
anything.
Like that game was a blur. I want to say, when I went to the Olympics, and you got a lot of Olympic coverage this year, FYI. Yeah. I'm not sure if you really know that. You felt like you was the swimming team, the volleyball team. You was like you was on every team but the basketball team. And watching the final for the gold game, it was actually the first time in my life that the Star Spangled Banner actually meant a lot to me. And I got fired up. Man, I got fired up. Do you feel like that sometimes when you hear the Star Spangled Banner? That was big. Like, to start that game, the gold medal game, like, hearing that, standing on the podium. But even more so, when I hear it now, it means more to me.
Yeah. I think that's what I appreciate more than anything about Coach K. Coach K make you really, really understand and appreciate what representing your country is all about.
Really? Does he preach it a lot to you all the time?
He don't even talk about basketball that much. They just talk about like the commitment, like being there for your brother, like fighting for your brother, like being part of Team USA, being a part of the United States of America, what it means to represent the red, white, and blue. Like when y'all stand up there. Yeah, he's a military guy. You know what I'm saying?
It fires me up. Right. It fires me up.
Right.
By the way, Coach K, this season, what he did with Duke is one of the greatest things I ever heard. Pete, tell him do you know what he did with Duke this year?
No. So you know
he made 2 goals this year.
So he was out having back surgery, right? So he calls a team meeting at his house. So he informs the team, you guys are not playing to Duke standard, so I'm locking you out the locker room. Get dressed in the hallway.
You can't go in the locker room anymore. You change in the hallway.
Get dressed in the hallway. You can't use the locker room. That's one. 2, until further notice, don't wear anything that says Duke on it.
On campus or nowhere.
I don't want to see anyone wearing
anything that says
anything.
Duke basketball, I don't want to see you in a Duke t-shirt.
You gotta wear all high school. Just targeted.
Wherever you want. Don't go in my locker. That's like my grandmother. Don't go in my refrigerator.
Right.
And stay out of my room.
I told you, stop running in and out of this house. I told you, and that was the last time I told you running in and out of this house.
So they got put on punishment.
But we still have practice, coach? Absolutely. So where are we supposed to get dressed, coach? I don't care. Just be at practice. Think about that.
I respect that. I
love it.
You think that's a
Let's lock in.
They playing better?
Let's lock in. We got to get focused.
That means we got to really, really lock in.
And they turned it around. Dre is right. They balling right now.
Yeah, they playing well. We got another guest over here.
You guys will never believe I walked here. I swear to you, I walked
Here he come with the boy.
You ain't got that look.
He's not sweating.
Where you ain't sweating? Your shirt ain't wrinkled?
Your shirt ain't
fantastic.
I guarantee you, I walked here.
Have you seen Trappy yet?
Oh, Trappy, I seen him get out the truck. Yeah, I seen him.
You know what? Draymond and I were just having this conversation. Some people love the process, and everybody else just wants the outcome. And I was telling Draymond, if you just listen to people talk, it's very clear to tell who loves it not. When you hear Bill Belichick win the Super Bowl and say, "This is great," and there's no other place I'd rather be than standing here tonight. But in all honesty, we're 5 weeks behind every other team in the NFL for the 2017 season. The first thing you go is like, he's insane, but he just wants to get. This is great. This is what it's. But I got to get back into the process. That's what I'm pulled towards. When you hear Tom Brady say, "I'm definitely playing into my mid-40s," I now have all the answers to the test. Why would I stop taking it now? You can't show me a defense that you're like, oh yeah, he's crazy.
Man.
He's crazy.
I want to ask you, fam, because I went to half of those games. How did you know, like, while we having this conversation, was it some kind of inclination that you just knew that you were going to come back from 3-1? Did you know this? Like, did y'all have a real sit down, just a team meeting? Did y'all? Because it could be some things that make like a real momentum shift.
It was just, it wasn't like, it's all about belief in yourself, man. And all of us, and whatever we do, it was just like, until the casket drop. Like, until the casket drop, man, for me. And it's like, I mean, as great as you know their team is, and still today, it's just like you can't lose belief in yourself. Like you're there for a reason. Like, we're all here for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no cakewalk to get to that position. Like, you just gotta like, and I don't know, dog. You just gotta
the better. That's actually drilling down on it. The broader question is actually, did you really think y'all could win a championship or even compete for one when you left Miami and went back to Cleveland? Coming back from 3-1 is great, but did you really believe Cleveland could be great again?
But no, that's it.
Me looking at how things started, first of all, I always felt like Kyrie was a dog. He just didn't have anyone to play with, and then when he got around somebody that had wisdom and some kind of like structure, I felt like his game was going to turn around anyway. You got a lot of players that I see that basically are playing because they love the game, but they know they're not going to win, so it's still like a little piece of their game that we haven't seen yet because it hasn't been opened up yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put certain players on teams where they can actually compete, you will see stuff that we already knew Kyrie was dope, but when he got around, bro, he was able to open up a little bit.
That's the hardest thing.
But there's no guarantee that happens, Chainz.
That's the hardest thing in our league to kind of like
Judge a play.
You never know what's gonna happen, exactly.
Yeah, and we fall into it a lot because you be like, I don't want him. He's in 7 years, he's never played in one playoff game. I don't really want him. Like, and I'll say that, or I'll be like, I don't really know what he would do for it. Like, I don't like his attitude. But it's like, you never know because a change of scenery and a change of, it could change a whole lot, like, for a guy, you know what I'm saying?
Let me give you the other side of that. In business,
you say, Dre?
Hold on. In business, you look at people's resumes, and nothing in their resume, you see Google, you see this place, you see that place, you see whatever industry you're in, you're looking at skill sets, but nothing in their resume talks about work ethic. And everybody gets credit for that they didn't do. We all do. Right? That's part of the thing. You were part of a team, you're part of a thing. So what role did you play in actually driving the outcome versus being a teammate of the outcome. And great CEOs, great managers of teams, great coaches, GMs, that's the real decision you gotta make. Like, was it the guy or was it the environment the guy was in? Is he bad for our locker room or was he just bad for that locker room?
It's a combination of things. Because here's the thing, it's the player, it's the people around the player, it's about having a maturation process. If a guy don't understand what he actually supposed to be doing.
Well, that's the coaching though. What's up, Chainz? Sorry about that loss, man. Man.
Oh, we love you. Your shoes are a little too tight, baby.
What? I can still run.
Listen, we got a lot of guys. I told Stout this, and Stout just brought it up. Go
He
ahead.
told me this, LeBron told me this at the Knicks game, and he starts going through the tendencies of the athletes. But the thing that was most important, he's like, these guys are running around, and they have no idea what their roles are. They don't even know where to shoot.
But that's
so we're looking at
coaching, though.
Shumpert's on the Knicks, and he's running around. He goes, this guy is great.
He don't
just
wanna
doesn't
shoot
even
as
know
in
where to
3
shoot. He
passes.
doesn't even know what he's supposed to do.
He
He's
don't wanna shoot as the ball just
He
going
doesn't know his role.
One is coaching, because we got a lot of coaches that don't want to coach.
Don't want to coach.
What do they want to do?
At all levels.
What are they doing?
At all levels, I'm telling you.
What are they doing, man?
Development.
So what are they doing?
But the first thing the coaches gonna do
put 5 guys
in
on the floor
training
and they don't
camp,
roll?
in training camp, you know your 12 players, a coach, you know what you got. You got to set the locker room right away.
Right away.
You do this, you're an energy player, you know your role, you come in, you shoot threes, you're a ball mover, you're a defender. So when you get that chemistry down, you go out and practice. You got to practice. They just can't talk it.
And either from the coach or from the commander of the team.
The leader of the team.
The leader of the team got to nip that in the butt as soon as they see something. Like, if it's a player on your team that shouldn't be dribbling, or if it's a player on the team that shouldn't be shooting threes, or it's a player on the team that's doing something he shouldn't be doing, either the coaches got to address it or the leader of the team got to address it, because now it unravels the whole. Because at the end of the day, sports, business, everything, we just want to win.
Specifically to Dre, Bron, and Uncle Oak, you're telling me there are players that play in the NBA that professional players that don't know their role?
I'll take it one step further. There's a lot of players in the NBA that don't know how to play basketball.
They don't, and they in the NBA do not know how to play basketball.
But they can play basketball. I know how to play basketball. I can't play. There's guys on high level making
It's
millions.
something on the All-Star team right now.
On the All-Star team.
They have
Right
bad
now.
efficiency. It is what it is. Hey, value shooters. There's a lot of value shooters on the All-Star team, but can't make their team win. If you watch a lot of games, you go to a lot of games. You watch a team all the time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They don't have a superstar. They don't have anybody that can take over a game. They got a good coach. He got a good system. They play good together. Keep Atlanta, they play good together.
Let me tell you this one thing. When you listen to commentators and people talk about sports, they talk about, oh, he's a smart player. Like, Tristan Thompson's a smart player. He just doesn't do anything he can't do. That's very smart.
Rich, that's what we talked about when you first introduced me to us.
But to Bron's point, also he was educated very early on what he needs to do. And when LeBron came back to the Cavs, I said to Tristan, okay, let's do a highway. It's 4 lanes. LeBron's a Ferrari, Kyrie's a Lamborghini, Kevin Love's a Rolls Royce. What vehicle are you? He's an F-350 heavy duty. You know why? Because you're picking up the sanitation. You'll get paid to do everything no one else wants to do. And guess what? At the end of the day, when they go to the south of France, you can go too. You can meet them there. No problem.
So let me ask this.
And put your pride to the side.
But nobody ever recognizes that as smart, Steve. And that's in
That's
business
very
too.
smart. What,
That's
knowing
smart.
what you don't know is smart.
Knowing what I can't do that, so I'm not gonna do that.
That's why this so good. Drake, this is what I do, and I'm gonna do it at a high. That's why he's so good.
It's why Oak was
Incredible.
Listen, these two guys are like carbon copy of each other, and Oak and Dre is carbon copies of what the league is today and the league at daytime. This is what we do. We're gonna do it at a high level, and I'm gonna do it better than you at what I do.
And these guys took it a step. These two guys took it one step further. You on my team? You shoot and make threes. If you don't shoot and make threes, we're gonna have to talk about it.
Dre, you be on the flop.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Oak would do that. Like, you're supposed to get 25. If you don't get 25, we gotta talk about this, bro. I'm rebounding. Why ain't you getting 20?
Because now you might make my job a little bit harder.
Y'all do all the score, we do all the, rebound, send picks, and make sure y'all okay.
PR, you want to take it a step further? Guys don't watch basketball.
I hate that.
You play in the NBA, it's a Thursday night on TNT, and you're not watching the game.
I watched a Division II college basketball game on ESPNU yesterday and made my wife watch it with me. I swear to God, this team that I watched, they ran flex for 40 straight minutes. For 40 straight minutes, they ran flex the whole game. They won 45-39. I'm not naming the school. They won 45-39. They ran flex for 40 straight minutes, dog. I swear to God.
Let me ask you this. And have you come across guys in the NBA who don't even know what a flex cut is?
Oh, what? What? Man.
It's easy.
I don't know
I
flex.
learned to flex in 7th grade basketball. I can run it right now.
Yeah, but you.
It's all it is a baseline cut with a down screen.
Yes, but
Get out, opposite side.
Here's the thing, though. You've seen guys get turned around all the time.
If you run it over and over, you actually get a decent shot.
You get a great shot.
So like what Oak's saying, it all comes around to coaching.
Perfect time.
Yes!
Perfect time. Jesse walks in.
He was the host.
Jesse was good.
You know Trappy, Jess?
You ain't me Trappy. You missed Trappy.
All right. Who's Trappy?
Let me ask this. So I'm blown away by hearing you guys say there's people in the league that don't know how to play basketball. Are there rappers that don't know how to rap?
That's a great question.
Yes, it is. A lot of people answer that.
Oh, you've been saying that.
I heard a lot. And,
With the BMW 735, you've been pumping music, you've been complaining about rap for 20 years. Not only do rappers not know music, I can tell you one step further. Very, very few artists know the business. Maybe 10.
You're saying 10 artists
Know the music business at all. They don't know anything.
They don't know where the money comes from.
They can't follow the money. They don't know how to get paid. All they want to do is get a record deal. And it's the beginning and the end of their career.
But that's the dream, though, Stout. You know that, been in the game so long, the dream is to get signed. Like, I try to preach that, signing yourself to somebody, you basically, setting yourself up for enslavement or whatever it is. So I try to preach independence. But coming up, when you see 50 get a deal, when you see Hope, when you see whoever get their deal, Cashman, whatever, it's like that sets yourself apart from everybody else that's doing the same thing in your community. And the big thing that we all strive for as black men, I know this sounds crazy, is $1 million.
That's it.
Fam, that's it.
We talked about that.
$1 million. And then we all know in this room that once we get $1 million, it kind of starts going downhill. But it's like a hill. But that's the goal that we have as black men coming from where all of us has come from. Even when we looked at, I looked up the hustlers coming up. I didn't want to be nothing else but a hustler when I came up. To the point I was so messed up mentally, I almost used to want a stomach because that symbolized money in my neighborhood when you had a necklace that was hanging over here.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
When you was fat and had everybody around me had.
By the way, this thing goes on and on. In the music business, it's devastating what they do. These guys are in no man's land at the age of 18. They get signed, somebody gives them some money, and they own their name for 20 years or longer. So when you see Prince, when he wrote Slave on the side of his face, he wasn't crazy. He was just way ahead of his time. He knew what was going on. Chance the Rapper is nothing but a manifestation of what Prince was talking about in 1996. There's gonna be a revolution in the music business. There's gonna be a huge revolution in the music business.
Who's gonna get credit with starting it? Chance? Does he get the credit?
The credit in changing it, Luke Skywalker did it. He never got the credit for
Master
it.
P?
Master P did it.
Master P did
he
it.
never got the credit for it.
Cash Money?
Cash Money did it. They didn't get the credit for it. whoever operationalizes it, so it's not a one-off, so it's not one thing and then done. Chance is just chance and then done. It needs to happen for 100 people.
Yes.
And whoever can operationalize it?
No.
No.
He had the team sign a depth chart.
As soon as Jay and Dame, they did their thing, but then they got a record deal.
Because that's the dream, Stout. You don't rap.
I'm not.
That's the dream.
I'm not disrespecting
And even
the
if you
record
get
deal.
the deal and race it and don't do it and say F everybody next week, it's just that I got a deal.
Chainz, I'm not disrespecting record deal.
I know it's not disrespect. I'm just saying
I know that's the dream. But if the dream is to really make money,
that's not the route.
That's not the route.
But you gotta understand, man, I remember, I could. Okay, so once again, I go back to the player circle days. The reason I was solo with Disturbing the Peace because Dollar was locked up. So when Dollar got out of jail, I said, let's do this deal with, with DTP. Let's be the first group or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember back then, Shaka and them, they were giving us $50,000 for our deals. So I wanted that, you know what I'm saying? And so he offered the group 75. And so I said, well, cool, I'll take 50, and Dollar, you get 25. And he was like, nah, we gotta split this in half. And I was like, I worked too hard for 37, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? and then, Dollar says, man, we just need to get in the door, get our foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? How we think, we just need to get in the door. Once we get in the door, we're gonna make our moves.
Oh, that's how you end up in that?
That's how I end up in that.
You're the only artist in the shop right now, right? Am I music artist? What's the first emotion or what's that feeling when you hear your name on wax, someone coming at you? What's that thought process? You have to have heard someone come at you.
Has somebody said your name on the track before?
Honestly, if it's like anything that triggers us coming from where we come from, it's the need to feel like you can't disrespect me like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a much mature place, kids and everything like that. So I want to play myself off the streets like, maybe somebody younger, but it's like that. It's the reason why he took his Twitter off his phone. It's the reason he don't look at social media during the playoff. It's this thing, this trigger that we got that even though we're like rich somewhere else and they're like losers in this little room, it's certain things that can like trigger us, certain little things.
It's perfect you say that, and you, Bron, you're my brother, you say this, and the one statement you've said that I play in my head daily is progress over pride.
I mean, for me personally, when I decided to go back to Cleveland, I had to decide, because our owner at the time when I left decided to put out this article that we all know about where he completely, bashed me and, disrespected not only me as an individual, but disrespected my name. And my name is not just myself, it's my wife, it's my kids, my grandfather, you know what I'm saying, my mother, so many more people. So, for me, when I decided to go back, and I talked to Mav and Rich and Randy and everybody, and I had to let them know, because some people was on the fence. Even my wife was like, my mama and my wife was like, Dad, I ain't with that.
Your mom was definitely
My mom was definitely like,
Dad,
we ain't going back.
No.
And for me, it was more, I had to finally just be like, you know what, Mom, it ain't even really about that. Me going back is more of this. It's more of a bigger picture, and it's more of all these kids, all these people that need inspiration and need a way to get out, and I believe I'm that way out. And so I had to be like, as much as my mom mean everything to me, and my wife mean everything, my kids, and my mama, she was just so I'm not, listen, you go back, I ain't going back with you. Wow. She I'm staying in Miami, or I'm going somewhere else, you send me somewhere else. I had to be let's not worry about the small, let's worry about us trying to build something that's bigger than our name.
I want to bring up this topic. After I watched Tom Brady win the Super Bowl, it made me start to think that the only thing that marks greatness is consistency over a long period of time. And you have to do it over and over.
How many did Tom win? 5?
He's been there 7 in how many years?
16.
And that's mind-boggling. What Tom Brady did over the history of my life is the greatest thing I've seen in sports.
My only argument with a football player being the greatest athlete of all time
53 members of the team?
is that, no, not even that, Jesse, is that they only got to play one side of the floor, man.
That's a good point. That's a legitimate
Yes,
argument.
Brady is unbelievable. Brady is the greatest quarterback I ever seen.
That's a great point.
But he affects the game one way. And that's by throwing the ball. And it's great.
You're right.
And it's great.
He doesn't affect the game one
Brady
way,
can play
Brian.
22 years.
Bron, it doesn't affect the game one way.
He could play 22 years, but he don't have to worry about. It's certain things
It
like
is the
as a
only sport where you don't have to
basketball
play
player.
defense or play the other side.
Bron, it doesn't affect the game one way.
This as a basketball player and the pounding that you take and running both sides. Okay, now I gotta do offense. Oh, I gotta get back on defense. Oh, I gotta get back on offense. Oh, I gotta get back on defense. As physical as football is, and I know it's to the body, I know it's crazy to the body, but for a quarterback, Belichick has done a great job of implementing those 5 guys in front to protect that asset. Every Sunday.
Right. That's the best
So
part.
Belichick, that's not Brady. Belichick's not recruiting or looking, scouting those linemen, bringing in, all those guys. For us, every single night, you have to, you gotta know both sides. We both play football. You play football. Rich played football. Uncle, he played football. The offense never even talked to the defense all week. We don't even speak to y'all.
Different teams.
It's 2 different teams.
Football is
Actually, it's 3 different teams. Special teams. When I played football, offensively, I never even talked to the defensive side.
That's the truth.
I never even talked to y'all. Ain't nothing to talk about. And I'm sitting down, chilling. I'm sitting down like this on the bench. Oh, turnover. Oh, where's my helmet? I don't even know where my helmet is. You grab another chin strap. Come on, man. You remember that?
Brian, the only thing I gotta say about Brady, the one thing about Brady,
I'm not saying he's not great. He's the greatest football player of all time.
16 years. Oh, you know this. Dre, you know this. That guy goes like this. Get him a helmet. Can you catch? Come on.
Yeah.
Get him. Can you? Can you run? You got 2 feet. Get him a helmet and a jersey.
Oh, he got bumps.
Wait. How much you weigh? You can block.
That's him and Belichick. That's
No, guys.
Belichick
These 3. Give me these guys.
What about Rob Gronkowski?
Steve, get in the car with me.
And the
We're
system.
going to the Super Bowl.
What about Gronkowski?
We are going to the Super Bowl.
Once they get up, he hold these guys accountable.
Wait. You got 2 hands? Yeah, I'm gonna throw you the ball. Oh, he can catch. Belichick, give him a helmet.
So,
He's
Matt,
with me.
is
You
that
with me?
So is that
You with me?
Is that more?
You
Is
with
that
me?
more
Let's go. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Brady, or is that more Belichick's system?
No, don't do that. That's not fair.
That's more Belichick stance.
Matt Castle did that too.
Wait.
And so did Jacoby Brissett or whatever his name is this year.
Brian, you know
And so
this.
did Garoppolo.
Brian and Draymond, you know this.
Is that more
A coach
Brady?
can draw up the greatest system, but somebody got to execute it. You're
won
business.
games
You gotta have a staple.
I can have a great idea.
gotta have a staple.
Somebody has to execute. Belichick didn't come back from 28-3.
Oh,
You gotta
no,
do
just
that.
no.
28-3, throwing to 3 white wide receivers.
Just do that. 3 white guys.
How do you do that?
Listen, we could do this all night long. That's the beauty of the
Show
shot.
me the bad guy.
The beauty of the shot.
Okay. Cut the mic.
I'm gonna take my mic off so I can get it off.
We're doing a